Okay. So, like, Jesus is right behind me, and sometimes it's nice just to come and be present with him, especially when I try to break apart the word, which is his word, not mine. And today's readings really inspired me because they're going to go along with this Wednesday's topic of how do we live humbly? It's not simple. But what if Jesus were to come back to earth, which I know he's right there. But what if he was to come back flesh and blood? What if he were to decide that he just wanted to come down and talk with us? Would you want him to come to you? Because personally, I don't want him to come to me. Not at all. And here's why. Jesus comes for the sinner. He's trying to convert the sinner. And I'm striving to be a saint. And I know that I have a long way to go. I'm no saint. I am imperfect. As such, we all are. But at the same time, I want God to know that I'm trying. See, I think a lot of our problem in the world is that we're basically insecure with ourselves, and we have these like desires and wants. Beautiful body, gorgeous hair, a good job, a good education. We really don't want to work hard to get it, but we kind of just want it there. We want to travel. We want a nice car. We want good reputation. We have these wants. And they lead us away from God because we don't spend enough time wanting what God wants. And what makes it even worse then is that we pay too much attention to what everybody else is doing, which is a total pride thing. Just like Matthew today. Jesus came to Matthew, who's a tax collector, and we all know that tax collectors were the enemy. And Jesus said, "Come with me, take me to your home, feed me." And all of the religious people, the people who didn't need Jesus because they were trying their hardest to live faithfully, got a little, hacked about that. And they're like, why is he hanging with a sinner? Doesn't he know who he is? But Jesus in his infinite mercy doesn't come for those who aren't sick. He comes for the sinner because he wants them to live eternally. You see, I think this world has forgotten that Jesus said there is a hell and we are allowed to choose it. But he doesn't want us to choose it. He wants us to choose him. And so those of us who have chosen him and we struggle and we walk along the road to salvation, we hope, through the mercy of the sacraments. Well, if Jesus came, we wouldn't need him. We already have him. We already have him. He's right behind me. So why does he need to come to us flesh and blood? He's already filling us. So no, I don't want Jesus to come to me. I want him to know that I trust the gifts that he has given me. And I don't want to know what everybody else's path is, and I don't want to judge the person in front of me as just being this awful sinner. I want to look at them like my brother and my sister, and believe me, that is hard. And I have forgiven many people for hurts, but it's so hard to forget. You can forgive, but that pain, it's like a scar. It never goes away. And every time you look at it on your skin, all puckered and ugly, you remember the exact time you got that cut. Well, we can forgive, but forgetting is hard. Which is why humility is about being able to look at your neighbor and appreciate their gifts. I've had the distinct privilege of hosting my friend who has come back from Texas to get her house in order and move. And I was sitting with her this morning telling her how amazing I thought she was. Her skills are so awesome. She organizes and has a capacity for work. She can run a marathon with work, and I'm just not even able to do a lap. And she looked at me and said, I appreciate your gifts, being able to get up and speak about God so easily. And in that case, it's so effortless to be around one another because we're not trying to hurt each other. We're not looking at each other and wishing we were the other person, wishing we had the same skills, but rather we're thanking God because our skills complement each other and we're able to do more good in this world because of it. So, to be humble is to appreciate the person in front of you, even if you don't like them, to appreciate the skills that they have, and to know that those gifts were given to them by God for this world right now, and not to knock them down if their gifts aren't perfect or always used correctly, but to lift them up and to remind them that God gave them that special gift to shed joy in this world and to help others. That's the humble person, to accept their own gifts and to know those gifts were given to them by God. Just like Paul said in the first reading, to accept those gifts from God humbly and to use them for the world and to thank God for them rather than be mad that you have them. It's true, I always wanted to be a singer. I can't sing. It's true, I always wanted to be an actor. I can't act. It's true, I never wanted to be a youth minister, but here I am. God knew what I needed, because in this church, He has been stripping me of my pride, piece by piece, and letting me know how precious the person in front of me is. If I had stayed just an ordinary teacher teaching math, I never would have been as humbled as I have been here. And I thank God for it, because at the end of the day, I don't want Him to have to come visit me. I know He's with me, and I desire to go home.